You, I mean, listening to your story of resilience, you are aggressive, you are determined to go beyond what someone else would look at as a limitation. But before we hear so much about your musical career, who is Crystal Asige?
Crystal Asige is a singer-songwriter. She is a YouTuber, a producer. I also do public speaking, and I'm a VIP ambassador. A VIP means visually impaired persons ambassador. Yeah, so I mean, generally I'm a creative. I've just tried to put all of the things that I've learned in my life, all the studying I've done, all the passions I have, put it together, along with my love for justice and fighting for people who maybe don't have a voice for themselves. So just putting those aspects together.
Tell me a little bit about your eyesight. You are visually impaired. Were you like this from childhood, or is it something that came about along the way?
So I acquired my disability, my visual impairment, which means that I was born with sight, full sight. I was about 14 or 15 years old in high school when I started to notice that there's something a little bit wrong with my eyesight. Things were a little bit blurry. I was having like blind spots in my vision when I did, sports, or when I did plays on stage, or just, just normal day-to-day activities. And I tried to hide it a lot because I didn't, in school already, your adolescent years, you're trying to fit in, you're trying to, be with the crowd, you're trying to be, in the popular group. So I didn't want anyone to see me as different. Because at that age, you don't think that being different is a good thing. You think that being different is a bad thing. So you want to fit in. So I used to try and hide it a lot from my friends, even from school, teachers, etc. My own family as well. I remember teachers actually thinking that I was a lazy student, because when they told me to speak on stage or in the classroom, I would be like, no. I'd make up an excuse. They used to actually put me in detention, tell me that I was, pretending, or I was being lazy, things like that. So fast forward to university. When I got to university, where I was studying film and theater, visual arts, obviously, I went to another checkup. This was a more extensive checkup now in university, because when I was a teenager, I was given glasses from the optician, which worked for a while. It's just a temporary measure. So I went for a checkup in university, and that doctor told me, Crystal, there's something very, very wrong, because your eyesight, the pressure in your eyesight is very high. It's in the 40s, and it's supposed to be between 10 and 15. That's what is normal.
When it's high, when your eyesight is very high, what does that mean for your vision? So
when the pressure in your eye, the interocular pressure, not blood pressure, not the same, it's called interocular pressure. When it's too high, it's like it squeezes, it fingers the optic nerve at the back of your eye, which is the cable that sends pictures to your brain to tell you what you're seeing. So once that optic nerve is being strained and being squeezed, it's eating away your ability to see. So slowly and slowly you just have like blurry vision. The peripherals of your eyesight become a bit black, become like darker, sorry. It looks like you have fog in your eyes. Like a steamy mirror when you shower, and you want to like clean the mirror. It's sort of like that, but much darker than that.
Listening to you, Crystal, I think most times when we are met with difficulties, some of us will cower and just run away from those situations. And I've noticed something that you said in childhood when you were growing up in school. Teachers thought that you were actually lazy. They thought you were not active. Here you are, you've actually gone to, a school where you were learning all matters theater. How are you able to overlook, bypass what people thought and how they perceived you?
Well, I definitely had my moment where I was in a depressive state, where I was running away from the reality, because the doctor told me, Crystal, in university now, they told me, this is your condition, you have glaucoma, and it has no cure. You definitely are going to go blind eventually. It's just going to continue to deteriorate slowly by slowly. So just be prepared. That's what they told me. So I did have a point in my life where I was just like ignoring it, like, oh, let me just try and, YOLO, live my life. I was partying, I was distracting myself in many ways. And then finally, when I finished university and I finished my degree and I passed, there was no more distractions. And the thing is that many of us will go through sort of like a similar situation to that. Maybe not exactly like that, but something similar too. And the difference between me now and me then is that I have accepted my fate and my destiny, and I have seen that there is actually a purpose. Once I accepted my visual impairment, I now began to see much clearer, because it's as if my spiritual vision came at the cost of my physical vision. My physical vision had to go for me to gain more spiritual vision. And so now I actually see clearer, and that's why I write the song Safer, and I say, I see clearer and better. And so the difference between me now and then is this, that I accepted, I decided to change my mind. My perspective changed on my issues and my challenges. I said, okay, I can't do this, but what can I still do? Okay, I can't drive anymore. Okay, what can I still do? Oh, I can't do this, but where can I still go? How can I still make my life purposeful and meaningful? Things like that. It's just about talking yourself into a better place. You know, encouraging yourself and using as well the small voice in your mind, in your heart. Listening to that one instead of listening to all the other ones which tell you, you can't do this, you won't go anywhere, you stay at home, just you won't achieve anything. Those voices, try as much as possible to just like sidestep them.
And here you are, Crystal, you've actually written songs, and your latest song, like I was just listening to it, trying to understand the lyrics. There's so much passion and there's so much emotion in the songs. What inspires, especially the song that you recently wrote, the one we just played before we began the show? So what inspired Safer is just basically my life story, my journey of losing my eyesight and all the things that came along with that, meaning like losing my confidence, feeling as like loss of identity, loss of control, feeling like, oh, that was meant to be mine. My eyesight was meant to be mine. Why is it now gone without my permission or without my consent, or, you know, things like that. You ask yourself all these questions and you fight with God and with destiny and, you know, things like that. And then it also talks about losing, you know, friends, losing opportunities because of now being different from what I used to be. And it talks also, then from there moves on to, okay, once I accepted, that's when I started to realize that, oh, that's what that Bible verse means, to walk by faith and not by sight. Because every day I walk by faith. In fact, I called my white cane, my assistive device, I called her Faith, because I want to remind myself every day when I, you know, open her up and move, I am walking by faith, literally, and not by sight. And the song in the pre-chorus, it says, since you said you'd light my way, Jesus, my life has not been the same. And which refers to the Bible verse again, which says, you are the lamp to my path and the light to my feet. That means that, you know what, even if I can't see where I'm going, it's God who's going to light up my way. And that's the best way to go. Instead of me, you know, holding on to my own decisions, doing my own thing and saying, no, God, I've got this, you know, you just chill, Uko. It's more like, okay, God, you have my attention now. You have all of my life. Just tell me where to go. Crystal, you've mentioned that at some point you were even angry with God. You tried to fight what you call your destiny, and this in relation to the fact that you were losing your eyesight. For some, you know, even stories you will hear, people who have lost loved ones, people who have lost very close things to them, things that they really, really valued. You've lost part of your eyesight. And here you are saying that, you know, you don't have a problem with God. How did you deal with your anger towards God?
I fought it out. I just, like any personal relationship, if I was talking to a friend, I spoke to God the same way. I said, you know what, God, this is not fair. I'm still young. I just came out of university. You've given me all the passions to do things which are surrounding visual arts. I did film in the university. I studied theater. I love to perform. I love to speak on stage doing poetry or public speaking. How can you now tell me now that you're going to take away my eyesight? Like, that doesn't fit, doesn't add up. So I went back and forth like that, and I wasn't shy about it until the point where I then started to gain more perspective and more understanding. Just, you know, he just gives you a little bit, because if he told me one day, Crystal, you'd be sitting at TV47 talking about your story, I'd just be like, nah, that's not me. Nah, I will never be in Nairobi doing all these things. No, God. But he gives you small crumbs so that you can just follow slowly by faith. You just take one step at a time by faith. And I just feel like it's difficult. It is difficult when you lose something, because I describe losing eyesight as if you've, like you said, lost a loved one, because it's something that is part of who I am. It's me. it's like losing a parent or losing a child, because you are one and the same with that person or with that thing. And so I kind of had to mourn my loss, and I still do sometimes. Sometimes I find myself, just tearing up and in my room and just thinking, man, what would it have been like if I still had my eyesight? What more could I have done that I'm doing right now? But I always say to people that I speak to, it's just about, if you can change your perspective or change your circumstance, you should change it. Definitely go for that treatment, go for that surgery, do whatever you need to do. But if you can't change your circumstance, change the way you look at your circumstance, because that will then build momentum in a more positive place.
Wow. Very powerful sentiments there. Crystal, you've also mentioned that you're slowly, or rather the doctor told you that you would gradually lose your eyesight, and at some point you will probably go blind. Do you get afraid sometimes that one day you will wake up and you literally cannot see anything?
Well, I think I've gone past the stage of being scared, because I have, like, my right eye, I can't see anything, and in my left eye, all I can tell is that there's lights. I can only tell that there's lights here, because I have light perception in this left eye, but that's about it. I can't see you. I can't see the set. I can't even see my own face when I look at myself in the mirror in the morning. When I'm brushing my teeth, I can't see my own hand right now as I put it in front of me. So I think I've passed that stage, and not that it never affects me still. Like I said, I still have moments whereby something does happen which reminds me, oh, Crystal, by the way, you are blind. That's something like I get on stage and I'm singing to people and I can't see their faces. I cannot see their reaction or them smiling or them singing back my lyrics, and I just remember like, oh, Crystal, you are blind. But then I just have to make sure that I remember the reasons and the things that I have been able to achieve in this journey since becoming blind when I was, starting to become a teenager and a grown-up. And it is scary, and I won't lie, it's not as easy as people might think, because I might make it look easy because I'm always a smile on my face and I'm doing things and I'm active, but it's my personality. I've always been this way, even before my eyesight was lost. A friend of mine sent me a voice note recently on WhatsApp, and she was like, Crystal, I'm really proud of you. I just want to tell you that I'm really proud of you. I mean, you've always been this person. I've never known you to not be the kind of person who's a go-getter, who's like got that attitude of like, why not? Why can't I do it? Unapologetic, trying to solve problems, being positive. She says, I've never known you to be different from that. But now I really see it way more, because you have this massive thing that you're dealing with in your life every single day. So I feel it's a combination of personality and character already, but then also just encouraging myself and having faith that, this is definitely for a bigger purpose. And diversity is a spice of life. It'll be a shame if I was the same as everybody else. Like I said, when you're young, you think being the same is cool. But when you get older, you realize actually being different is what is cool. That's what you need to be to stand out in life. And right now, I stand out a lot, so it's a good thing.
In a very beautiful way, Crystal, you do stand out. Talking to, sometimes people take for granted what they have. Someone may be living in very disadvantaged circumstances, saying, I wish I was living in Karen. Another person living in Karen saying, you know what, I wish I could just go to the UK. And probably I'd do something better. And most times we don't realize that we are so blessed right where we are, that we are, we have a lot more than we can actually see. Talk to that person who feels where they are is not the best place, and they do not know how to make the best of where they are.
I recently got some DMs from other artists, younger artists who are starting out their journey, and they are asking me for advice, and, oh, I want to be signed to this place, oh, I want to be able to do this, how do I get there? And I keep telling each of them, you know what, remember that where you are right now, remember that what you have is what you need right now. Today, what you have is exactly what you need to achieve what you need to achieve today. That's one thing that I would tell anyone. All you have is all you need right now. And then number two, I would also say that if all you see is what you see with your physical eyesight, then you miss out to see all the things that could be seen. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I said that properly.
It's too deep.
if all
but
that you rely on, if all that you rely on is what you see with your physical eyes, then you miss out on seeing all the other things that are around you that are fantastic and that are really propelling you forward, or could be the reason why you propel yourself forward. So I feel like when I lost my eyesight, it also helped me to focus more, because right now I don't have distractions. I don't look to my left and right and say, like, I want to do this, I want to be here, I want to go to Cairn, I want to be in the UK, I want to have a 7-bedroomed house, because I can't see this. I don't want to follow or compare myself to anyone. So God has given me that ability to streamline and really focus, have like that tunnel vision to say, like, you know what, I'm just going here. I don't know what's happening on the sides, above, behind, below, whatever. I'm just moving forward. So that's what I would also say to people, is that don't focus on your physical vision. Try to understand, like you said, what you do have right now. You have life, you have breath, you have a talent, you have people in your little circle around you, in your tribe, that you can be affecting right now. Whether it's your family, your neighbor, the lady who you go and get mbogas from, those are the people, that's your community. Like, start there, because if you're given a little bit, you'll be given much. If you're faithful with a little bit, you'll be given much. Things like that. And yeah, just remember that that sometimes fire can burn you, but other times fire can build you. So whatever you're going through, whatever the fire is for you, financial, you've lost friends, you've lost family, you have a condition like myself, you're battling depression, you're battling self-esteem issues, whatever that fire is, you can decide whether it's going to build you or it's going to burn you.
Let's go back to your music before we come to a close, Crystal. How do you get to write your lyrics?
I write my lyrics on my phone. On my phone, I have like this voice recorder. Mm-hmm. It's a screen reader, so I just dictate to my phone, and then it writes the lyrics down. That's literally how I do it. But when I'm composing a song, I have a guitar at home. Mm-hmm. I'm not very confident playing the guitar in public though, because it gets so hectic. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're trying to sing, you're trying to play, you're trying to like perform, smile and all that. Mm-hmm. But I do play at home in my room where I'm comfortable on my own. Mm-hmm. And then I just write songs like that. So after I have a basis or like a foundation for a song, I then take that to the studio to a producer and just say, okay, look, this is my idea. Then I get like a professional instrumentalist, guitarist, pianist, whatever, to then make it sound sweeter, add some salt and pepper on it and make it sound much nicer. Then we go into studio. A bit. Correct. Yeah. So, but I do write my own songs, and but I also get help from my team. I've got an amazing team with me, with videographers, photographers. I have somebody who like helps me coordinate all of my gigs and my music video shoots, etc. Branding, marketing, PR. So definitely it's not like being done by myself. The entire production, the entire output that I have, the product is done by a small team of about 6-7 people that I really trust and that believe in me, and yeah, we do it together.
When you look at your musical journey, what do you foresee for your future in the coming years?
I foresee Grammys, Maze. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I like to have big dreams, mm-hmm. because in life we meet people a lot, or I meet people a lot that think too small. They don't dream big enough, and what's the purpose if you can't like try to achieve much more than what you have right now? So I see Grammys, I see me being on Broadway, because I love theater still, musical theater, singing and dancing and performing and acting at the same time. I see movies, I see me writing a book, mm-hmm. I see all kinds of things. It sounds mad, but it's true. And in the beginning of every year, I do this thing called a manifest, I call it. So it's a fast of 21 days where I try to talk to God and I try to manifest, okay, what do you want out of me this year, God, or for my future? So I do 21 days of fasting and praying. And then this year, actually, on my Instagram page, I put, for the first 21 days of January, I put every single day, I am going to ... So there's there, I am going to get a Grammy. I am going to write a book. I am going, all the things I'm telling you now, it's all there on my Instagram page. If people go and look back scroll back to January, they'll see all of my goals.
Crystal, as we come to the end of today's discussion with you, which has been so inspirational and hope-packed, I want you to just sing for us your chorus from your recent release, if you can.
Okay. I've walked 1,000 miles, shadows and dark and light, they're all the same. And I've cried 1,000 times. I can't deny that I tried it their way. But since you say you light my way, Jesus, my life ain't been the same. Been the same ever since I closed my eyes and walked by faith. I see clearer and better. I feel safer than ever. I see clearer and better. I feel safer than ever.
Oh, wow. I do music as well, by the way, but...
Yeah? What do you do? What do you do? Tell us. Do you sing? Do you write? Do you play an instrument?
Back then, I tried out some bit of music.
Oh, yeah?
I wanted to be this famous secular artist.
Okay.
But I got born again along the way, and then I wanted to do this gospel music, but I don't do it for commercial. But
oh, okay.
Crystal, your music is so powerful, so...
Thank you.
Packed of emotions.
Thank you.
And inspiration.
Asante.
I don't even know what to say, but I'm really touched. I love music. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
And may you continue to inspire many other people.
Thank you. You too. You guys are doing an amazing job out here on Morning Cafe, so you keep doing that as well.
Thank you. Well, that has been Crystal Asige, and just sharing her story of inspiration, of hope. I mean, did you hear her sound? It's so amazing and so beautiful. And as we come to a close, I just want to remind you, coming up next is the brand, Paul Kirobi, coming up with some bit of news, telling us what's happening in the country and, of course, regionally and globally. Don't go too far. Kirobi will be with you right after the Morning Cafe.